Ho, ho, ho. Who you calling ho? Anyway, hey! Been a long time. Yeah. We've been busy, holidays, whatnot, and we're back with a nice, long episode. Stick with me. Rambling, catching up, seeing what's new with everybody. And, so grab your whip and just kick back and listen to the blathering, rambling of a lunatic. Kidding. Alright, hope you enjoy it, and, get something done while you're listening to this nonsensical stuff.
Well, hello everybody. It is Saturday, December 26th, and I'm alive and kicking. I've just been kind of preoccupied with the, Lily, with the holidays and everything. I've got my camera set up on my rolling cart, and Lily decided to push it because we were in her way. Anyway, this is what I've been working on lately, this really long, landscape diamond painting. This has been my project between calls. I originally started trying to do it downstairs on my TV tray, but it was just a little cumbersome. So I have picked up the crochet again, the Granny quilt, not Granny Smith, that's Apple's Granny quilt. And again, thank you, Mrs. Coffee, for all the crochet stuff, because I'm back into it again. Anyway, so this is what we're going to work on, and kind of stick with me. I don't have much to talk about. I'll figure out something, but then we'll just hit the unsolved mysteries stuff for a while. But let me get you zoomed in a little bit in case you like to watch what I'm actually doing, and we'll get started. I have been doing this entire painting one drill at a time, using my trusty Mickey Mouse pen. So, what's that? Little food particles. So yeah, it's a little time consuming, but get, I think, a better result. Anyway. Hope y'all had a great holiday. I did not happen to participate or watch any of the Christmas diamond painting collaboration this year. Just too much going on. Anyway, we did have a nice holiday. I had to work both on Christmas Eve, full shift, and Christmas Day. I worked 4 hours, 11 to 3. What am I doing here? X's. Okay. So it wasn't too bad, but on Christmas morning, the kids both came over in their pajamas, and Brian had made a nice breakfast for us. They came over at 8:30 in the morning, which was a miracle, getting everybody here by that time. I think they were even early, but they were accommodating my work schedule so that I could partake. But I'll show a picture of the spread that Brian made for breakfast. But there was ham and scrambled eggs with cheese and a couple kinds of sweet rolls and tater tots, all kinds of good stuff. Fruit. It was really good. We went all out. Delicious. And then we opened gifts. And right around that time, it was time for me to get on the phones for work. And I was surprised how busy it was people calling in about their car insurance on Christmas Day. It was also rather heartbreaking when people had had their policies canceled and there was absolutely nothing I could do. And they're crying. Oh my gosh, it pulls at the heartstrings for sure when I can't help anybody out and they can't go anywhere for Christmas because their insurance canceled on them for non-payment. So it was rough, but I survived it. And then last night we made an attempt to watch some Christmas movies, but everything we kept picking out, you know, because we were picking out stuff we hadn't seen before. They were all kind of like lame, bad acting kind of stuff. So eventually he picked a modern version of Scrooge with Tory spelling, and then it promptly fell asleep and left me to watch that. And it was not a huge Tory spelling fan, but anyway. Yeah, so that was our Christmas. And let's see, what else? Oh, on Christmas Eve, Brian and Quinn went fishing and they went to church. And then they went over to Jesse's place to see his tree and visit with him for a little while. So they kept themselves occupied while I was working on Christmas Eve. That day of work, though, I gotta tell you, there was, in my department, 220 of us on the phones. And at any given time, there was between 80 and 90 of us waiting for phone calls. It was so slow, and yet they weren't sending anybody packing to, you know, let us off the hook, which was odd. And then the next day, Christmas Day, there was only 17 of us working, or 22 or something, not very many. So it was really busy on Christmas Day and just really slow on Christmas Eve. But we made it. And a little holiday pay and some overtime and everything else certainly will help. So that's always a benefit. All right, let's see here. What else? I changed Lily's cat litter from that stuff that I originally got, which I love, but it's expensive. So I switched to this other pellet type that's must be some sort of pressed like sawdust or something, because when she pees on it, it turns into sawdust, and she doesn't apparently dig the feeling of it compared to that other stuff that was more like, I don't know, limestone pellets or something that didn't fall apart when it got wet. So she'll stand with her four legs like on the edges of the litter box and try and squat over the top without actually stepping into it. It's kind of funny. But that cat has got some stinky poop, I gotta tell you, man. Whew. What else? I was expecting a package, but I haven't seen it come yet. And when I went down to check the mail today, the mailman was there with all the mailboxes, you know, opened up the big wall of them. So I'm going to have to go back and check later. But something's supposed to be on its way. Let's see here. I've been listening to a bunch of different podcasts, kind of, you know, the one recommends another and then another and another. So this most recent one, I'm kind of enjoying the shorter episodes rather than something that's like an hour long. And this one is called, I think, Love Radio. Is that what it is? Love Radio. And it's just kind of wacky stories. It goes all the way back to 2015, I think. So it's like, or no, maybe it goes back even further. I don't know the catalog, but they're just like stories people tell about random topics. Kind of interesting, and they're all about maybe less than a half an hour long. So, yeah, so I've been into that. And like I said, crocheting again while I'm watching TV and doing this during work. And I have, I got some paint at Walmart for doing mandalas, and I got the tools from Amazon to do those, so that's on the bucket list of upcoming things to work on. I've still got a whole bunch of frames in the closet to frame my diamond paintings, so that's coming up. I just haven't been motivated lately to start a big project. I don't know. I have, I think, pretty close to enough stuff to do the little pill bottle project. I have what I need to do the hoarder letter with the jewelry. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff on my to-do list, and yet here I am doing a diamond painting rather than that, because I don't know. Like with the mandalas, for example, or even the projects, if it's something that I'm brand new to and I'm just experimenting for the first time, hence the train wreck tutorial, I'm not teaching anybody anything. I'm just showing you how I struggle through learning how to do something, I guess. And I think that they've kind of been a little dull lately. Maybe it's my mood. But anyway, I'm starting to feel like, well, I should really figure this out first and have a actual legitimate instructional video on it. But yeah, where's the fun in that? Lily, knock it off. Now she's on the cart. Sorry, you guys are wiggling around. Yeah. So those are the upcoming projects, and I just got to get the motivation to clean up my mess in here and start something. My goal today is just do a bunch of filming of videos so that I have stuff to put out for the next several days. Because yeah, I went, I think 2 weeks now since I put out a video. And part of it is finding the time to get away and have the time to record. And then of course, it's the editing, and that takes a long time too. I need to get my act together, I guess. I had gotten my weight down finally after several years to under 180 pounds, and then Christmas happened, so I haven't gotten back on the scale. So that was probably short-lived for like a 2-day stretch there that I was actually down to under 180, which, you know, I guess it's still an accomplishment because I got myself all the way up to 213 at one point. And let's see. Oh, Quinn is highly allergic to Lily, any cats really, and he was of course coming over for Christmas, so I used that Furminator brush on her and trimmed her claws and everything. That brush, man, or comb or whatever it is, it really does get a lot of stuff out of the undercoat. It's amazing how much hair comes out of a short-haired cat with that thing. So it works pretty good. She hates it though. She just absolutely hates being brushed. I tried to start out, you know, with the gentle method of brush and pet and brush and pet, and it was just like she's squirming all over the place, and finally it was just, you know, wrestle her down and try and get it done. Trimming her claws, that's always an ordeal. I try to do as much as I can when she's asleep before she wakes up, but then you start to get into the point where you don't catch her sleeping enough, and the paw that you've managed to trim is ready for another trim, and you still haven't finished all 4 feet. So again, that was wrestling her down and getting it done. But for now, all 4 feet are trimmed, and she has her undercoat all cleaned out. Let's see, what's new with Jasmine? I'm letting her grow long for the winter, so she's looking a little portly again, but it's all hair. I'll show you the kids before we're done, so you can see what they're looking like now. And let's see here. Brian got a job offer, and he's just waiting for the results of, I think, the drug test and the background check, and he'll start working, which is wonderful. And let's see, what else is new? Got some new favorite games on the phone. You know, I've been doing that app where you get paid in gift cards for the time you spend playing games, and then you find one that you really like and you've earned all the points you can on that game, but you keep playing it. So right now my favorite games are, I like Lily's Garden. I play that one with Danette. And I like, what is it called? Family Island. And Dragonscapes or something like that. And then there's some of those find the hidden object games, Judy's something or other, and I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them. And you gotta wait for your energy to increase or gain more lives, you know, once you run out or whatever, and so you just keep switching from one game to the next, to the next, to the next. So I've been really preoccupied with that. I need to lighten up on the games. I think that's a big reason too why I haven't been doing any videos. I had my nose in my phone playing those damn games, but I ended up getting my Amazon credits up to over $100 so that could use that money for Christmas. So yeah, but that's over with now. Christmas is over, so time to get back to something a little more productive. Hi, Lily. How's it going, girl? She has gotten into the habit while I'm working and on calls. She comes up on the desk, and when I set down my pen and start typing, she'll grab my pen and run away with it. So yeah, she keeps doing that to me while I'm on a phone call, stealing my pen and running away. She's probably got a stash of them behind a plant somewhere in the house. It's cooled off here. Last week it was still in the 70s during the day. Today, or this morning I should say, I don't know what it is now, but it was like 42. So it's getting a little chilly. I'm gonna get to wear long pants and long sleeves. I don't know if any of you remember, those of you who've been watching my channel for a long time, I don't remember if it was a year. Lily, stop it. A year ago or 2 years ago. But let me check the camera because she just moved that. Stop it. Yeah. I had the dealie going on with the elbows. I don't know if you remember that. Where I was asking if it was like, I can't get my elbow up here. If it was, Jesus. Whatever. I didn't know if I had like some skin condition going on or whatever. And then I stopped diamond painting for a long time and my elbows cleared up, and now I've been diamond painting again and I've got it again. So I think it's due to the glue on the diamond paintings. Maybe I'm allergic to it or something. But yeah, it causes my elbows to get kind of scaly and lumpy bumpy. So yeah, anybody else having that issue? Your forearms or elbows getting some sort of skin condition from laying them on the paintings? Or am I just the lucky one on that? So, yeah. Let's see here. Can't think of anything else recent. So I guess we can go to the Unsolved Mysteries stuff for a little while. I've been doing this painting one color at a time. Not that I managed to do it without missing anything, but instead of doing like a little 2 by 2 inch section, I've been doing long strip from top to bottom, one color at a time as best I can. Because the little fur baby here likes to spill crap all over the place, so the fewer trays I have out, the better. When that need to put everything away at night doesn't affect me, and I leave it all out, and then I hear shit spilling all over the place while I'm laying in bed and she's prowling, getting into everything. Oh, here's another fun one. Okay, so Brian and I both have Alexas, but we don't share an account, so they are not synced together. And mine is in here, and he has one in the bedroom and one in the kitchen. And when he talks to Alexa, he likes to yell at her. So whether he's in the bedroom or in the living room and he's yelling at Alexa, he keeps triggering mine to turn on. And then, you know, it's not synced to his. So, like, for example, if he asks for Christmas music or something, they both kick off and playing different songs at high volumes and all this other stuff. And yeah, so it's been quite the challenge. So he says to me, we were in bed going to sleep, and he told me, because mine kicked off when he asked for the rainforest or whatever it was, and mine triggered, and he told me, well, just shut the door. And I can't, the litter box is in there. So he said, well, just shut it a little. Well, that doesn't work, because you shut the door a little and the cat decides, well, that's not going to work. So she just shoves the door wide open whenever you crack it a little bit. But yeah, that's the latest. So I have to go into the settings and change mine to have the trigger word be something else. I think you have a couple options. Rather than saying Alexa, you can use a different word. So I'll have to switch that so he doesn't keep triggering mine to go off. But I did play the holiday music on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day while I was working, but it kept looping the same songs over and over and over again. I was getting a little sick of it. Tends to all be that old, Perry Como stuff, that the classics, and not a whole lot of upbeat new stuff. So I burned myself out on that, listening to it for 12 hours, between the 2 days of working. All right. Let's do some of these. Let's see, where did we left off? I have it marked on February 14th. Let's see here. I think we read that one. So, February 15th. And again, this is from the History Channel, Unexplained Mysteries. Unexplained, not unsolved. Unexplained Mysteries. I get to try to read and diamond paint at the same time again. All right, so February 15th and 16th. And Bauer's Mystery Writer. I don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we're going to go with it. Okay. Showing a little too much cleavage. perhaps one of the most widely recognized Old English epic poems ever written. Beowulf recounts the tale of its titular hero as he battles the monster Grendel. I'm going to move this over here so I'm not pointed away while I'm reading. A cursed descendant of Cain, after it devours many of his clansmen and warriors as they lay sleeping. The poem, believed to have been written sometime between the 7th and 8th century, has been translated into dozens of languages, adapted into epic movies and stories, and remains popular to this day. However, one large piece of the story's history remains a mystery. Who wrote the original poem? Attributed only to an anonymous Anglo-Saxon poet, historians have been incapable of discovering the author's identity in the centuries since the writing of Beowulf, or whatever it is. Scholars note that details of the epic poem are linked to history, such as the Danish king Hrothgar, the feasting hall described in the story, and perhaps some think even Beowulf himself. Historians believe the story of his exploits was most likely brought to England by Scandinavian settlers in the 6th or early 7th century. Who the epic poem originated from, or if multiple authors were involved in its telling, however, remains a mystery. Okay, clearly because I couldn't even pronounce any of that, I have never heard of it. And Lily is very distracting playing with the cords from the blinds. Lily. Now you're going to climb on there. Push that around again. Honestly. Stop it! Ugh. Lily. Oh, okay. You guys are going sailing. All right. I wonder if these wheels lock on this thing. Get down. Let's see. It doesn't seem so. Let's see here. Just being an ass. All right. Little shitball. All right. Hey. February 17th. The disappearance of the Roanoke colonists. Okay, this one I know. We went on a vacation once when I was living in Virginia. My mother came down and we went and saw the outdoor play in Roanoke of this. Okay. One of America's oldest unsolved mysteries started in the summer of 1587 when a group of about 115 English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island off the coast of modern-day North Carolina. Later that year, John White, governor of the new colony, sailed back to England to gather fresh supplies to bring to Roanoke. Just as he arrived, however, a major naval war broke out between England and Spain, and Queen Elizabeth I recalled every English ship. God darn it! Lily! Criminy. Okay, we're going to move you to a stationary table. Asshole. Okay. Christ. Queen Elizabeth recalled every English ship to confront the Spanish Armada. In August of 1590, White finally returned to Roanoke, where he had left his family and the other settlers 3 years before. He found no trace of the colony, its inhabitants, or any real clues as to their disappearance apart from the word Croatoan carved into a wooden post. Some hypothesize that the colonists were killed by Native Americans or that they tried to sail away and were lost at sea, but no answers about the lost colony have been found. Dun, dun, dun. 18th. Ooh, the case of Anand Syed, sorry. This is from that podcast Serial, which I'm sure lots of you have heard of. Kind of interesting that it ends up on this thing, but all right, let's hear about it for those of you who've never heard of this. The case of Adnan Syed. Adnan Syed became a household name in 2014 when he was featured as the subject of the first season of the podcast Serial. I just said that. Okay. First incarcerated when he was only 17 years old, Syed was convicted in 2000 of murdering his high school girlfriend, Hae-Min Lee, in January of 1999. Despite his conviction, Syed consistently maintained his innocence and in 2016 was granted a retrial by an appeal judge in Maryland, who stated that Syed's trial attorney had demonstrated deficient performance in the defense of her young client. Additionally, the case demonstrated numerous holes, with people questioning whether it was even possible for Syed to have committed the murder. Following his second hearing, Syed's conviction was overturned. However, Syed's release has reopened the question of who in fact murdered Hae-Min Lee all those years ago, as no secondary suspect was ever pursued. Lots and lots of stuff in the media on this. Podcasts, documentaries, movies, all kinds of stuff about this case. Very, very popular. I'm sure most of you have heard of this if you follow anything to do with true crime. All right. February 19th, the Toxic Lady. I need more wax. On February 19th, 1994, 31-year-old Gloria Ramirez was brought to the emergency room of a Riverside, California hospital. ER employees on duty described a strange smell coming from the woman's mouth, and when they started to take blood, they noticed a chemical smell similar to ammonia. Additionally, Ramirez's blood samples exhibited small floating foreign particles. Almost immediately following her admission, 3 of the medical professionals in the room began to exhibit signs of illness, and over the course of the night, 23 of the 37 people in the ER became sick. Ramirez, who passed away that same day, was then dubbed the Toxic Lady. Some believe that there may have been a gas leak in the room, but others hold that Ramirez herself was the cause of the widespread and immediate illness. She was undergoing treatment for cancer and self-medicating, which could have contributed to the bizarre toxicity, despite the fact that an extensive autopsy and forensic examination revealed no conclusive evidence. Well, that's odd, isn't it? I think I may have heard of that before, but I'm not sure. February 20th. Let's see here. Okay. The Shroud of Turin. Arguably, why can't I say that word today? Arguably, there we go. One of history's most important and divisive artifacts, the Shroud of Turin is said to have been the cloth that covered Jesus as he lay in his tomb during the 3 days before his resurrection. First appearing in historical records in the 1350s under the ownership of a renowned knight named Geoffroy de Charnay, an exhibition was soon organized to display the holy relic, where it was almost immediately denounced by local church officials. The Shroud's history since then has been almost equal measures of skepticism and fervent belief. Owned by numerous famous houses and organizations at various points throughout history, the shroud is currently housed in the Savoyard capital of Turin, from which it gets its name. Modern scientific efforts to determine the shroud's authenticity have produced mixed results, with some denouncing the artifact as a hoax and others validating its origin. No consensus on the highly contentious item has been reached, and religious scholars still continue to passionately debate this subject. I just want to get my edge in here so I know where my plastic ends. Let's see here. Now you guys gonna go fight over there, huh? There we go. That's pretty good. All right. February 21st. Project MK Ultra. Booker. Here we go. On April 13th, 1953, the then director of the CIA, Alan Welsh Dulles, approved MK Ultra, a project originally designed to help the United States compete with Soviet mind control advances. Despite relatively honest intentions, the project soon became experimenting with drug testing on American soldiers and citizens to study the effects on human behavior. Smithsonian Magazine reports that despite massive resources and scientific effort expended on the project, records from the experiments were destroyed. You guys, come on. Making it difficult for the modern historians to determine exactly what happened and how many Americans were involved. It is unlikely that we will ever know what level of testing occurred on the American citizens without their consent or knowledge. All right, I need to move this where I can kind of see it and the painting at the same time. You guys, come on! Seriously. That's not the right color. That needs to go over here. You guys, I'm trying to shoot a movie here. I'm trying to steal the show, interrupting my creativity. They are chasing each other all over the bed. Really? You gonna calm down now so I can go back to what I was doing? Nope. Not gonna happen. Another booger. There we go. Seriously, you two. Here's another one I can't pronounce. Okay. February 22nd and 23rd. The aluminum wedge of AIUD. Aud? I don't know how to say that. In 1974, a puzzling chunk of metal and a pair of ancient fossils were found buried some 30 feet beneath the shores of Awid, I don't know, Romania. We're going to say Romania. The shores of Romania, by 3 construction workers. The workers understood that the objects were special and sent them to the nearby city of Cruj for scientific testing. The testing revealed the metal object was composed of 90% aluminum and 11 other metals. Most strangely, efforts to date the object place it around 250,000 years old, despite the fact that it appears almost definitely man-made. Some believe that the chunk is only a small piece of a much more complicated machine, with many UFO enthusiasts believing it could be proof of an alien visit. Another theory is that the metal could simply be part of a World War II plane and that its time spent submerged beneath Romania's earth has artificially aged it. Never heard of it. February 24th. The boys in Stanley Park. In 1953, a park worker found the skeletons of two small children in Vancouver's Stanley Park. It is puberty. Okay. It is believed that they had been killed 6 years prior. Near them was the hatchet that had killed them, as well as a lunchbox, a woman's fur coat and shoe, and pieces of children's clothing. The children were thought to have been the ages of 6 and 10, and their identities are still unknown. The Vancouver Police Department tried to track down open cases of two missing boys, but were not able to find a family for the children, leading police to think that they may have been killed by their mother. Investigators hope that DNA testing will eventually lead to answers. I've not heard of that one either. February 25th. The Tomb of Tuduck. Again, don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we're going to go with it. Okay. Built between 1864 and 1867, the tomb of Emperor Tuduck in the city of Hue is one of Vietnam's most impressive royal tombs. Designed by Tuduck during his lifetime to be used to worship him in life as well as death, it now serves as a museum of his life. The site includes the tomb, multiple temples, a lagoon, and an island that was used for hunting. But the tomb, named Kem, which means modest in Vietnamese, does not actually contain the emperor's body. Emperor Tuduck, fearful of grave robbers, chose to be entombed with a great treasure in complete secrecy by 200 servants, all of whom were beheaded following the ceremony. Gosh, hope it wasn't volunteer. Well, I hope it wasn't, I don't know. Maybe I hope it was. All of whom were beheaded following the ceremony. The true location of Tuduck's resting place is not known. How'd you like to sign up for that job and find out you're going to be beheaded? Not good. Wow. Do you think they volunteered for that, or? No. February 26th. The Ditloff Pass incident. Okay, this one I know very well. Heard this one over and over and over again. All right. Why do I feel like I've read these, but no, I haven't. Okay. I would hope my memory is good enough that I wouldn't have read all of these already in another video and just now recognizing that I've done that. Then there might be some concern. I can read that many of them and not remember a single thing. Okay, the Ditloff Pass incident. January 1959, 9 young hikers ventured into the Ural Mountains of the then Soviet Union and never returned. After a search party was sent to locate them, rescuers came across their campsite and found some of the remains of the group on February 26, 1959. At first it seemed as if they had all died of hypothermia, but upon closer inspection, evidence pointed to something much stranger. The group's tent had been cut open from the inside, and all their belongings remained untouched. 4 of the bodies were found 4 months later in a ravine with injuries that are usually seen only in car accidents, including massive trauma. Although no extra footprints were found, the facts are still questioned to this day. Some attribute the deaths to an animal attack, while others believe one of the hikers may have killed the others. However, no explanation has ever been agreed upon. Seen lots of shows and listened to lots of podcasts about that one. There's a lot more to the story, like radioactive residue on their clothing and things like that. So, all kinds of theories out there as to what happened. All right, February 27th. Death by Mystic. Ooh, this sounds interesting. During the 1980s, Texas couple David and Glenda Goodman became followers of the spiritual movement and religious cult Conscious Development of the Body, Mind, and Soul, led by Terry Hoffman. Their families last heard from them in January of 1990. A few days later, they were found shot to death in their home, guns resting next to them. Before they died, they had given over $100,000 to Hoffman, leading their families to believe that she was the reason for their deaths. Their deaths were officially ruled suicides, but many people have questioned that fact after other followers of Hoffman ended up dead in a similar manner, such as Robin Ottstadt, who was said to have shot herself in 1987 after adding Hoffman to her will. February 28th. All right. The Spear of Destiny. Shake this a little bit. First discovered by Christian crusaders in 1090 in Antioch, a city in what is now Turkey, the Spear of Destiny, or Holy Lance, is said to be an artifact with a nearly unmatched history. Many believe it to have been the weapon that pierced Jesus' side as he hung from the cross during the crucifixion. Historically, the Crusaders' discovery of the relic is said to have bolstered their morale and spurred them on in the offensive against Muslim forces. The Christian forces eventually defeated their enemies and secured the city of Antioch. The discovery of the spear came from an unexpected source. Peter Bartholomew, a French peasant, went to the church to inform them of visions concerning the artifact. And when the church officials dispatched crusaders to search for the spear, it was indeed found exactly where Bartholomew had specified. Today, however, many church officials and historians contest the authenticity of the spear, holding that it was a simple hoax used to inspire Christian forces. The Antioch lance is one of several claiming to be the spear of destiny, though whether the spear truly existed or not remains unknown. All right, we finished February, and it is not easy to diamond paint and read. I gotta tell you, I don't get a lot done. I could just kind of cruise along when I'm not trying to read at the same time. So, not the best combo of activities for a video. That's all I gotta say. All right, let me finish this up. I'll show you fluffy Jasmine, and we'll say hello to Lily, the one who likes to steal the show, and then I'll move on to something else and catch you in the next one. So again, hope everybody had a fantastic holiday and made the most of it, given the current state of the world with COVID and everything else, that everybody's hanging in there and doing well and staying sane and looking forward to starting a new year and hopefully putting this one behind us, because it has been a rough one. I can't remember ever having a year that has been this trying for so many people all at the same time. But I'm not exactly, a century old yet either, so there's sure been many trying times in the history of the world, but this is the most trying that I have yet experienced, and I hope it doesn't get worse than this. I gotta tell you that. All right. On a positive note, love you all, and I'll see you soon. And let me just show you the kids real quick. Here's my fluffy girl. She needs to be combed. But yeah, she's getting long. Probably close to 3 inches long now. Right, girl? Tear stains. And then this is how we do the claws when she's sleeping. Just snip, 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 snip. Right, girl? Okay. All right. See you all in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Well, there you go. There's a good portion of an hour of your life you're not getting back. If you put that on repeat, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's like time standing still. You can live forever. Anyway, hopefully we'll do something a little more productive soon. But, after this video was recorded, she proceeded to spend the next 2 hours messing with her router. After rearranging that room, the Wi-Fi doesn't reach the kitchen, so